G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. Now today I am going to do a fairy flower for you, but I'm only going to use two colours. I'm going to use blue and green. This is primary cyan and phthalo green, and these are acrylic inks from Holbein. So I have got my little colours in here, still transparent. So I've just used, instead of having three, I've just still using the same amount of resin for those, but just two colours. And the other thing I'm going to do, because you know how sometimes I get that really spirally look and I don't like it. So I'm going to do like just lots of little, actually I might move these out of the way for now, just for the sake of being quicker. I'm going to try and just do like little amounts, just so that they kind of blend more and I don't get that big stripe, because I just don't like it. So I don't know, we're just going to see. So just blue and green. Hopefully we'll get like a pretty purpley, not purpley, a turquoisey colour, I should say. Oops, don't drip. And this is my new rock edge live mould. This is the small one. And I'm using the Art Pro resin by Resin Pro. And I've made up 180 grams. If you want to know what that is in ounces, just divide it by 30. I'll give you roughly the right amount. And I did 110 grams of part A and 70 grams of part B. Right, so that's pretty much empty. Now I'll have to go to my sticks and scrape. Oh gosh, wrong cup. Oh my gosh, too many cups. And I thought I'd put some green and blue sort of crushed stones in the middle. So yeah, just hoping to get like a more of a uniform kind of blended look for this particular fairy flower. Now because it's really cold in my studio, it's only 20 degrees. So what I've done is I mixed my resin and I let it sit for, it's between 15 and 20 minutes. I let it sit for. It hasn't started getting warm or anything. It's just that it's so cold. Middle of winter in Australia. Right, now that'll sit there. Yeah, so that's the other thing I've done. Let me clean my mold. My white is my bloom. In the little cup, it's quite opaque, and then also in the bigger cup is also bloom, but it is more transparent. And then I've got a tiny bit of resin in here. I just thought I'd make a paste out of my little stone chips, or glass chips, whatever they are. Hopefully I haven't got too much resin. So just a mixture of the blue and the green, basically. This is kind of a tealy colour, but I've ordered some more stone because I really don't have a very big variety. I've got gold and silver, and then I've got these, which are by Stamperia, but they're not very bright. So anyway, that'll do. And I just thought if I put it into, I'll make a paste out of it, and then it can go where it wants to go, you know. Otherwise I lose little bits of stone everywhere. So anyway, that's my stone. Blue. I've put them in the right bottles. So green and blue colours there, and green and blue stones. So that's that. Let's put the white in the piping bag, and that's going to be for my dots. I'm enjoying doing the fairy flower. It's nice to do something, you know, different rather than just coaster molds or animal molds. It's just something nice, and it's a bit of a challenge. So, you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's my hobby and I'm enjoying doing it. And look, I'm quite happy for you guys to come along and watch and learn if it's something that you want to learn. And of course, if you don't want to see any more, then you know, there's other videos of mine that you can watch, and there's other videos of other people's that you can watch. So there's so many videos on YouTube. But I do appreciate if you do want to watch my videos. Of course, of course. All right, now I don't think I'm going to stir that because it should be nice and blended. And I'm not going to do a spiral. I'm just going to go plop, plop, like that. And I haven't made the colours in this one too dark. Oh gosh, I don't know if this is going to work. It just looks green. Maybe I did too many little layers. You never know. You just never know until it's done. It just looks very green, doesn't it? Hopefully we can see some other, you know, the blue coming out. So I'm hoping for blue and green and kind of turquoise as well. Just giving that a little tap to get the bubbles to release from the bottom. Alrighty. So that's done. Now, the fun part, the dotting. Snip the top off. It's about that wide, about 4 millimeters wide, I guess. If you make it too wide, then your resin just kind of drips out everywhere and you've got no control over it. I'd rather, if I want them bigger, I just squeeze a little bit with this thumb. So I drop down, squeeze a bit, and there we go. All right, now I guess it depends on the size of your dots, you know, the kind of shape of your petals that you're going to get. I'm squeezing a little bit just to make it a bit faster, because if I stand there and don't squeeze, nothing's really going to happen. So I'll just squeeze a little bit. And you can see these ones are already starting to spread. Now, the people over in the US that have got summer at the moment, I think you've got summer, their resin acts differently to mine, and like we get different fairy flower effects. And I'm putting it down to the fact that I'm in a cold climate and they're in a hot climate, and so my resin, you know, is sitting in my shed, not my shed, my studio, and it's getting really cold and like thick like honey overnight, because it's getting down to like 10 degrees. And then when I want to use it in the morning, it's still really cold and thick like honey. Whereas if you're in summer, you know, your resin's pretty much staying warm day and night, and it's thinner. I think it's thinner. I'm going to go right into the middle here. All right. So anyway, that's the idea of me just waiting for 20 minutes before I started, just to try and get my resin to be a little bit thinner and warmer. Because you know, when your honey's cold, it's really thick and gluggy. And then when you've got warm honey, it's nice and thin and it flows better, doesn't it? Now I'm going to go behind all of these as well, if there's room. Now I probably won't use all the white that I've got here, because I always make up a little bit more. Right, now I'm going to go in between all of these because I can see little gaps there. So the dots that are on the edges here, they've spread a lot, so they're looking quite thin and narrow now. Whereas the dots in the middle, well, they don't really have anywhere to go. They're already in the middle. The dots on the outside are going to the middle, so they're stretching. The dots in the middle are already in the middle, so they don't really stretch very far. They're already there. Okay. Seems like I've got more room on this side for some reason. Don't want to do any more. Don't want to do any more. No, let's leave it. Let's leave it. I've got lots in there. It's a smaller mold. This is the small rock edge mold. So you don't want to put too much white in there. You know, it's going to get really heavy. It's just going to sink. So just be careful not to overdo your dots. All right. So now the white, and it's all going that way. For some reason, way, all going that way. Come back. All right, I'm going to find the middle. I'm just going to dump that in. Hopefully it'll work. I didn't want to fill the mold too much, put too much resin in there. It can take more. It can take about 210 grams, but I didn't want to fill it any more because it is quite a deep mold. Just clean off my sticks. Just while I'm waiting for everything to kind of flow back. And then we'll put the glass in the middle. Okay, there we go. Just dump it in the center. Hopefully it's in the middle there. And because it's heavy, it's not going to float around. So I'm not going to use it all. I don't want a huge, it'll spread. So it was in a clump. So, you know, it doesn't probably look that much, but when it hits the bottom, it'll kind of spread. So don't want to put too much in there. All right. Oh, look, I can actually see some blue and some turquoise. I was really hoping to have like a really pretty turquoise. This is turned down really low. I don't know whether I need to be torching it, but I think it just helps it move a little bit better, you know. Again, it's warming it up. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Hopefully, it should all just close up there. No point putting on it time-lapse because it really won't do much. It'll just close a little bit there. Leave it like that. And when it's been sitting for about 2 hours, I'll carefully pick it up and I'll put it over in my curing machine for another couple of hours, and then we'll be able to unmold it. So yay! All right, I will see you all then. We can go in for a bit of a closer look. Oh, it looks really blue through the screen. Always does, but this side here is more blue. But I'm getting some really pretty aqua kind of colours. But yeah, it shows more blue through the screen. All right, you guys, wish me luck. See you soon. Okay, it has set, and I took the opportunity to go and do my nails while it was in the curing machine. So it's still a bit soft and bendy on the edges, and quite hot still. I put it in for at about 50 degrees Celsius. It's just the food dehydrator that I've been using lately. I don't use it for food anymore. It's just been up in the shed gathering dust, so I thought, yeah, use it because it's got lots of shelves and I can put lots of stuff in there at once. It's just a little bit hard leveling it sometimes because of the shelves, but I put a level in there and it was okay. All right, now, do we think this has worked? I can see some cloudy stuff going on in there. I really hope it's pretty. I really want like a muted tones without, you know, a big spiral. So anyway, oh my gosh, here we go. Please work. Oh, it's green. Oh no, I dropped a stone in there. I thought I dropped a stone in there. Oh my gosh, I could pick it out. I could pick it out and put some more resin in. Yeah, color-wise, not my favorite. I was really hoping for more blending, but it's basically a lot of green, as you can see, with a little bit of blue there and a tiny bit of blue on the edges, but I don't like that. I have to pick that out. Pick you out. Don't like you being there at all. I wonder if I can get it out. I thought that I'd dropped a piece of stone, and but by the time I realized it, because I saw like a bubble there, and then by the time I realized it was too late. Anyway, it's gone. I can put a little bit of resin on it, but it's not my favorite. The colors are just not right, are they? Anyway, there it is. I will do 2 colors again, but I'll choose some different greens, I think, and a different center. Although, you know, we haven't got the big white blob like we normally do. Do I? That's something. I mean, you can't really tell what's going on under there, but yeah. Well, that's very interesting. I haven't got the big blob.